So take a look at these juicy green crypto bubbles, guys, 63%. Look at these double-digit gainers, and this is not the top 1,000 cryptos. This is not the top 2,000 cryptos. These double-digit gainers are in the top 100 cryptos. Retail money is starting to trickle into this space, giving us what we've been waiting for so long. Let's check the Fear and Greed Index. Up to a nice 73, which is where you'll see these 50% runs in the top 100. You'll see these 300, 400, 1,000% runs on coins further down the risk curve. Alt season index is slowly ticking up. We had a 38 yesterday. We have a 39 today. We are heading towards alt season, which means Bitcoin, although it still might go up, it's just going to go up at a less percentage than the tokens that are underneath it. So right now, we should have our altcoin binoculars ready, looking for the next hot narratives, because everything in crypto, if you don't know this yet, you will find out pretty quickly, either the hard way or the easy way. Everything in crypto is narrative and speculation driven. What is the hottest trend? What is it everybody going to be talking about in a week, 2 weeks, 2 months from now? And how do you get in before that happens? That's how you're going to make the most money possible in crypto. In this video, I want to talk to you about a narrative and a specific token in that narrative that CryptoGodJohn, Alex Becker, and a lot of the big brain influencers think are going to be one of the hottest narratives, hottest categories, hottest niches, doesn't matter how you view it, all the same thing in this super cycle. And a really good way to go see what potential categories and narratives there are is you go to coinmarketcap.com and you click on that categories button right here. And it's going to break down literally hundreds of different categories, because in hindsight, in the 2021 bull market, gaming went hard, the metaverse went hard, DeFi, NFTs, these were all crypto categories and niches. But there were a lot of categories that didn't 10x to 100x. And I feel like people sort of have a survivorship bias where they thought everything exploded. This time around, it's going to be way more specific. And one of the top narratives is privacy. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm going to tell you all about that in this video. But just have a quick look on CoinMarketCap because it sorts things really well. You get the total market cap for all tokens in that niche. Now, I just said it sorts things really well, but there are also tokens that will pull into these categories that probably shouldn't be there. But the top privacy coin at the moment is Monero at a $6 billion market cap. And you can see everything else falls below that. And you've got a few gems in this area here at sub $100 million market cap that a lot of influencers think are going to run to multiple $billion market cap. But don't just listen to me. I'm not the expert around here. I'm literally the person who finds the experts and then tells you what they say and copy trades them myself. And I've done really well doing that, because if we're not going to listen to the experts, listen to the people who have the best results, who are we listening to? I don't know more than them. I'm not trying to put in 18 hours a day to study it. So that's why I look at people like Alex Becker, CryptoGodJohn, Ilio Trades, even Raul Powell, Peter from House of Crypto. They are the ones out there studying the charts, studying the next narratives, and even creating. And so Alex Becker says, during this fear, this was actually back in June. I mean, during this fear, it's funny, it's a month ago. And he's talking about during this fear. But 1 month ago, he bought, guys, millions of dollars. And we track his wallet. So we saw these trades actually go through, and he put multiple 7-figure purchases into these different categories. AI, obviously, that's a big one this time round. Real world assets and privacy projects. A lot of people overlook it. They don't think Alex Becker is big in privacy, but he's literally bought 7 figures of privacy projects in the last month alone. There are many old and new projects at bear prices that will instantly 3 to 5x when ETH moves. Again, ETH has started to move, and started to move. It's up probably close to 100%, probably 80%. I think it loaded about 2,100, now it's sitting about 3,600 US dollars. And then they will 10x our money in bull market euphoria. Easy. This is the most lopsided risk to reward in years. I'm all in. And he's been right. The play is actually starting to pay off. CryptoGodJohn, who's just changed his image to a pudgy penguin, and penguin has been absolutely ripping as well, says privacy is looking like the next big meta, the next big category, the next big niche to take off, privacy tokens. And then you've got them both together, singing in harmony here. CryptoGodJohn says, I think privacy narrative in crypto is one of the sectors due for parabolic growth with real use cases. This is why they think it's going to be so strong, because it actually does have a real use case, can be revenue generating, all these things that are awesome fundamentally, But people are going to say this is awesome fundamentally, and then ape in, and this social narrative is going to be way bigger, and this tidal wave of trillions of dollars coming into crypto, a lot of it will probably make its way into these privacy tokens. John says 99% of crypto projects solve issues nobody even cares about. Privacy is a real world use case. And guess who popped up in the replies down here? Alex Becker, who said 150%. They are both in big agreements. Which takes us to a strong privacy token that has partnered with us for this video. That is Anyone Protocol. They tweeted, the world's largest DePIN starts with Ator noughts. Now, before I get into the details of Anyone, it's important to know that they used to be called Ator. So when you look at these tweets, you may be seeing Ator or Anyone, but they're currently called Anyone, and it's a cool name because the capitals are A-N-O-N, Anon, because it's basically a Web3 superior VPN service. Now, this is an Alex Becker token, and he replied to the Anyone protocol saying the snowball effect of the network with all of AI and DePIN adding Ator or Anyone to their network and their infrastructure is going to be straight stupid. I've actually shown this Becker tweet, I think 2 or 3 times in the last 3 days, but it is a strong tweet that he had back in 2024. And he said the mid-cap North Stars of AI are PAL and OXO, multi-billion-dollar market caps on the way. We're going to discuss that in a second. That said, projects mixing DePIN, AI, and privacy together will make little bro runs to PAL and OXO levels, $300 to $400 million market caps. Thus, he's taken huge stakes in ZKML, which we talked about in the last couple of videos, which has absolutely gone on a tear, mainly thanks to you guys in the community who's been watching those videos, up from 15 cents all the way to 25 cents, but also Ator, or as I keep saying, Anyone. And he says Ator have the hardware to enable this privacy. And funny enough, even before we took a partnership deal with Anyone, because they are really moving on the partnership and KOL program at the moment and really leaning into marketing, you can see that they were on the Becker 71 index. This is where we indexed every single Alex Becker hold. There are 71 of them, and then filtered them through 5 categories that I thought were important, and Anyone protocol passed all 5 of those. And more than that, Alex Becker says, some of the tech in AI crypto is mind-boggling. I don't go into hyper detail in his vids, he goes into absolutely no detail at all, but go look into some of my mentions like Ator protocol. He mentioned them again with ZKML and Destra network, which ran to hundreds of millions of dollars. They are earth-shaking in terms of AI mining and privacy management. They could all easily hit market caps 20 to 30 times their current size from here. And I know we study influencers in the crypto world, but Anyone has actually branched outside that. They have a partnership deal with Candace Owens, and this is her talking about them on her podcast. They also had a meeting with Justin Sun from the Tron network. And CryptoGodJohn makes it a very interesting comparison to the Helium network. Now, the Helium network brings back some nostalgic memories back in 2021 for me, because that's really where I started to dive deep and see the actual use cases that crypto and Web3 could have. Because apart from that, everything was just all hype and NFTs back then. I'm like, oh, I could actually see why the Helium network was valued in the billions of dollars. John says, Helium Network, which I'll tell you more about in a second, achieved massive success and hit a $7 billion all-time high in 2021 by making crypto passive income easy and affordable with hardware, literally nodes that you buy and they ship to your house, and you run a node from your house with no big cost requirements. People were printing money by running their node and getting paid in Helium, because that's one of the benefits of Web3 is you can actually earn tokens passively, all paid up through the blockchain for doing things in alignment with the project. John says he's betting on Anyone/Ator being the next Helium, which would be absolutely massive. In fact, the Helium co-founder, Sean Carey, joined the Anyone team as an advisor recently. This was back in 2024, and he did this thing where you compare the 2 market caps. And at the time, if Anyone matched the all-time high market cap of Helium, it would have a 61x to go, which is absolutely absurd. Now, Anyone described themselves as the decentralized privacy layer for the whole internet. Think VPN service, but on steroids, way more anonymous, way more safe, and way more decentralized. They say that they're building the fastest onion routing network in the world with 1,200 exit relays and, of course, very fast internet capabilities. Now, if you don't know what an onion routing network is, it's basically this big jumble of computers that allows your activities and identity online to not be tracked. Because Ator say that the internet is rigged against you. Corporations are building a profile of you with every search, message, and click. Traditional VPNs not in Web3 merely shift the privacy problem, as users rely on centralized entities and their internal policies, opening up the risk of logging and data links. But anyone want to make privacy the default, so you don't have to opt into privacy. Everyone who uses the Anyone network and the internet is private by default. And you can see this is them showing you the onion routing network where nobody knows the full trail of where the data goes and where it comes from. Now, just like Helium was back in 2021, they're literally shipping out this hardware that you can buy and host and get rewarded in Anyone tokens. You can contribute bandwidth to the network and own Anyone tokens in return, supporting the decentralized infrastructure. And this is something like the original Tor network, the TOR network, cannot do because they're not based in Web3 and they're unable to align everybody and incentivize everybody to keep the network up and anonymous. Now, if we have a look at the Anyone chart, they've had a nice, healthy pullback. They've been one of the biggest responders to strong market sentiment, which is always good news. If this thing hadn't moved and the market had turned, it's probably the wrong token to look at. You can see it's got a long way to go back to all-time high, about a 3x. It's currently at a $63 million market cap, a 79 fully diluted market cap. And to get back to all-time high, it's about a $200 million market cap. However, Becker thinks that is small. John says, my current thoughts for ATOR, PAL, and OXO. And Alex Becker responded, yes, multiple billion-dollar market caps are incoming. ATOR is an absolutely hidden monster that people are not aware of. Its tech will change the entire decentralized physical infrastructure network space, which, I mean, that's just such a strong bullish tweet from Becker. Then he doubles down on it. He says, AI coins that have stayed semi-strong like Desync, PAL, OXO, AOS, and ATOR will rise to multiple billion-dollar market caps. And if we come and look at Helium back in 2021, swap the market cap, you can see this reached not on the intraday trading, but on the average of the day, a top of 5 billion. I believe John said this hit 7 billion, so it probably wicked up at the top of that candle to a $7 billion market cap. And Helium have continued to build, and they're currently sitting just under $1 billion market cap. When you compare that to Anyone at a 77 million, if they could build something similar and get the market sentiment and retail money that was back in 2021, this thing could go nuclear, and Alex Becker could be right as it heads into the billions of dollars. Now, inside our inner circle, because we track key opinion leaders' wallets like Alex Becker, and we track deployer wallets of new and promising projects, we saw Alex Becker partnering with Anyone before anybody else did. And so if you want a newsfeed literally sent to your Telegram app of when Alex Becker buys or sells a token, just recently he sold his Shiro Nico tokens. Just recently, CryptoGodJohn tweeted bullishly about Desync, and Kyle Chassis went and sold his Beam. And even updates from us, Ilio Trades and Alex Becker recently launched their black hole DEX on Avalanche, and we tweeted about it here, talking about getting it at a $50 million market cap and how we are going to be buying. It's now sitting at a $100 million market cap. If you want this newsfeed sent straight to your phone whenever these key opinion leaders and top traders are buying and selling cryptos the second they buy and sell them. And of course, access to their current portfolios and hold so you can literally copy trade the best traders in the world. Come and join our inner circle. The link is in the description below, and there's probably never been a better time to get in. I mean, just this week, we had a community member submit this token right here, DJI6930. Now he submitted it. It says $678,000 market cap, but this was actually about a 1.2 mil market cap when he submitted it. Our community members are out there finding these gems on our behalf every single week. This was a 1.2 mil market cap. It's skyrocketed all the way to a $35 billion market cap. Apparently the narrative here is this is trying to flip the SPX 6900. It is called Doge, and it is a pump fund token that is on Solana. I don't know too much about it, but I'm just showing you the opportunities that are available inside our inner circle if you're looking for token discovery before the mainstream get there, before they explode. Click up the link in the description, join our inner circle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.